My name is Kate Ramsey, and I'm a criminal defense attorney. I love Progress Texas because we need to meet people where they are, and Progress Texas is messaging to people where they are at and on issues that are important to me.
It's Tuesday, June 17, 2025, and this is the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch. Rapid response on the breaking news stories Texas progressives need to know. I'm Chris Mosier. That nice glowing aura of positive juju coming out of that No Kings weekend sure was enjoyable, but alas, I'm afraid it's back to reality this Tuesday for Texas progressives. But take heart, there's plenty to oppose and lots of work to be done. Central to that, I think, and definitely central to what should be the conversation being had by all Texans, progressive or conservative or otherwise, is the fact that the bills are killing us all. Well, most of us anyway, and there's a new price tag when it comes to being able to live comfortably in the Lone Star State. This, of course, is going to vary between cities and even parts of cities, but Michael Shiloh at KTRH Radio in Houston writes on a new Wallet Hub analysis that estimates that single working Texans need to be earning at least $90,000 per year in order to truly get by without pain or daily worry. These days, the estimate for a family of four is $200,000. Those two totals, respectively, are $6,000 and $9,000 more than the average just 1 year ago. Some of this is inflation, but in Texas, we also factor in our explosive growth, which increases competition for just about everything from housing to insurance to gasoline to groceries. One could think of this as an unfortunate byproduct of the so-called Texas miracle, which really is a climate that's extremely friendly to business, but way short of considering the conditions of its working people. Those workers in Texas, meanwhile, by another study, die on the job more commonly than just about anywhere else. Alexis Zimmerman at the Austin American-Statesman writes on a new analysis by the insurance company Everly Life that finds Texas to have experienced more fatal work injuries in 2024 than any other U.S. state. We're number one, outpacing California despite their larger overall population. This also is attributed to our explosive growth due to an extremely permissive regulatory environment for business. Mariah Bliss at Everly Life cites oil rig explosions, construction site falls, and more related to, quote, outsized energy, construction, and logistics sectors where high-risk tasks meet rapid economic expansion. A boom in small subcontractors, many operating on thin margins, also means uneven compliance with OSHA rules. Texas is dealing with a lot of dangerous work happening fast. When you have oil rigs, major construction projects, and small contractors all trying to keep up with demand, safety can get pushed aside, unquote. In Texas, as far as your boss is concerned, his bottom line is frequently far more important than your safety because you're replaceable after all. Should you get hurt at work and find yourself in need of public health assistance, good luck with that, too, in Donald Trump and Greg Abbott's world. Terry Langford at the Texas Tribune says state officials have notified local public health departments across Texas to brace for another $119 million in federal cuts at the end of June, part of a federal clawback of $700 million in unspent COVID pandemic funding, some of which was used to fight the spread of measles in West Texas, and a bunch of which has been considered part of that massive surplus that Governor Abbott loves to crow about as he hoards it. Vaccine coverage, disaster preparedness for local Texas communities and hospitals, and HIV prevention are all now in the crosshairs. Meanwhile, another industry in Texas is being decimated by Republican policy, and that's our restaurant sector. CBS News Texas says 22% of restaurant employees in the state are immigrants, and a great many of them are now afraid to show up for work due to the spread of ICE raids. Reporter Marissa Armah visited Cafe y Tequila restaurant in Irving, where management says fewer people are applying for jobs and clientele is suffering as well, many of whom themselves are fearful for the same reasons. Owner Jesus Sagrero tells Armah his business is down by almost half. The Texas Restaurant Association says about half the outlets they monitor in Texas have job openings that they are struggling to fill, and 20% are experiencing operating challenges due to those openings. It's all directly due to the fear that has stricken Latino communities across Texas. An even more grim result of that fear in El Paso. As you may have heard, a joint study by the Texas Tribune and Source, New Mexico, says skeletal human remains are becoming a more common sight in the desert north and west of El Paso due to migrants opting for more dangerous border crossing routes. Historically, the El Paso sector, covering New Mexico's entire Mexican border and parts of West Texas, had seen among the fewest migrant deaths of all sections of the border. But from January 2023 to August of last year, The remains of 299 people have been found there, more than double the 122 found in the previous 20 months and the highest among all sectors. Since the city of El Paso began cooperating with Operation Lone Star in 2022, migrant deaths in the area have risen annually, unlike other border areas where they've been dropping over that same time frame. Experts and immigrant advocates link the increase to policies, including Operation Lone Star, that push migrants towards more dangerous and remote routes. We've talked about Tarrant County Judge Tim O'Hare lately, as he's been the driving force behind what we see as race-based redistricting in the Fort Worth area, designed to minimize the voting impact of Tarrant County's non-white population. Well, he's marking Pride Month in style, too. Gwen Howerton at the Houston Chronicle says O'Hare has halted a year-long effort to install a historical marker honoring Fort Worth's LGBTQ+ community, ordering the Texas Historical Commission to rescind its approval. The marker was to recognize a former queer hangout that was raided in 2009. O'Hare argued that the application bypassed proper local review procedures, claiming it didn't go through the Tarrant County Historical Commission's full process, which former Commission Chair Coletta Strickland disputes. She says the application followed standard procedures. Critics say O'Hare has overstepped his authority here and also undermined the legitimacy of the historical marker process. O'Hare has long been a staunch opponent of LGBTQ+ rights, dating back to his time in Farmers Branch's city government when he moved to block the county from contracting with several local organizations that expressed support for Pride Month and abortion rights. More recently, O'Hare also successfully urged the University of Texas at Austin to follow Texas A&M's lead in banning drag shows on campus, a move the UT system made days after he sent them a letter. Tim O'Hare is up for re-election in ever more purple Tarrant County in 2026. Let's make that race a priority. Our mission at Progress Texas is to counter the conservative disinformation machine, which is funded by oil and tech billionaires and religious right-wing activist groups, all while fact-based independent media outlets increasingly face funding threats. While access to those outlets is frequently free, as it is here at Progress Texas, it does take listener support to keep those independent media sources going. If you've come to appreciate what we do here at Progress Texas, now more than ever, we could use your support as a monthly contributor, and no amount is too small. Go to progresstexas.org/donate. Thanks to Tim Mahoney, Lila McCall, and Marley McKenzie, all of whom have joined the team lately. We really appreciate all of you. And while you're at the website, be sure and pop by the web store for the merch to match your progressive values. You're going to see Y'all Means All, Revolution, our most popular Humans Against Ted Cruz t-shirts, great stickers, and more, all at progresstexas.org. That's the Progress Texas Daily Dispatch for this Tuesday, June 17, 2025. Links to all these original stories can be found in our show notes. Progress Texas is a nonprofit rapid response media organization promoting progressive messages and actions. While campaigns come and go, we're the permanent home for progressive media and action in the Lone Star State. I'm Chris Mosier. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.